Snow also moving up on earnings today, up 7% right now, carving that right side of the base. Is this something that you're interested in, or are you in other software stocks right now?
Yeah. I'm definitely in other software stocks right now. But I'm gonna be looking at PLTR as well, right,
Mhm,
within that group. But I
mhm.
like the action of the group. The weekies look good. Look at the base, the bottom of that base with that volume spikes taking off. There's a lot of support there. When I start seeing that, I definitely get excited. Up down volume ratios at a 1.2. Number of funds have been going up. Composite rating strong. You can see that RS line starting to make its way up, pointing to 1 o'clock. Yeah, from a technical standpoint, just looking at the chart, there's definitely a lot of consolidation there. If it can actually clear 200, this can really start making some moves. I believe there's a long distance as far as if there's any overhead supply, anyone trying to break even, but there's pretty
Mhm.
good over a year there. Let me see the daily chart though. When you get one thing I want to point out to you, I look at dailies just if I to time my buy. I look at the weekly,
Yep.
do my analysis on the trend of the volume and the trend of the price action. But you have two gap ups back to back within its base there. And when you get that type of action, oh, actually, thank you for pointing out three within that. That's a lot of buying power. That's very strong price action, right? Now, now I'm going to wait to see how if I'm going to say this. I wouldn't have played this, and I didn't play this. I don't have a position on this. It is on a watch list, but I wouldn't have played this because it's earnings season. I don't have a price cushion. But if it can clear that pivot price around 193.23, because there's been a couple of tests there, this is going to be a very interesting play here. I would definitely keep this on a hot list, watch list, focus list, whatever you want to call it. Just from the technical standpoint, that price action is very strong, especially that very first one. You have that volume there at 12.6 million shares. That's huge, right? It's almost 300, 400% above his 50-day average volume. So it's telling me for $187 stock. What's the market cap on this? Let's go to the weekly real quick. 61 billion. Yeah, there's smart money coming into this. The equities are coming into this, and they're buying it. From the weekly perspective, I need to clear 200 really for me to really get aggressive on something like this. But again, 1, 2, 3 gap ups on the daily chart. Within its base, yeah, there's a lot of support. They're trying to get in a little earlier, and that's how I'm interpreting this type of price action and so forth. But for tomorrow, it gapped up. For today, it gapped up again. Tomorrow, it would have to take that intraday high for me to start working on that.
So you talked about the resistance
Yeah, around 193.
193, 194. But what I was going to say is if you want it to continue to have strength and clear that resistance, would you want it to put in a little bit more time around here? Ideally, let those moving averages catch up and then move higher
Yeah,
versus.
see, right now I'm predicting what's going to happen, right? And I'm not a big fan of. I just want to interpret what's taking place, right? So I'm predicting if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, right? Ideally, when you get that price action, what I wanted to do, like you just mentioned, is go sideways and get boring and let that 21-day work its way up. Ideally, I'm a big fan of that 21-day. If I can get it pulled up very closely, I'm not looking for a bounce, just looking for support. I would love to get a bounce. I think someone had asked a question regarding the 21-day moving average. Why not buy off? I will buy off a bounce if it's above average volume, but I am looking to stay above it and being supported, having support there. But ideally, when you get this type of movement, this type of strong price action, especially in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I like it to get sideways. Let it digest earnings, let it digest everything that's taking place, the buyers and the sellers, and then proceed and interpret what's taking place.
Right. Yeah. To me, there's a difference between predicting and scenario analysis, which is what I like to call it, because I feel like with a prediction, you're making a bet today on what's going to happen in the future versus scenario analysis is that patience. Let's see how it plays out. If this, then that. So I feel like that's
Great
what you're
point
doing,
now.
Arnie.
Absolutely. But then when you start doing stuff like that, it kind of gets into your head. You have a preconceived notion how it should be acting, and then it could get a little complicated. But absolutely, you are
There's
correct.
a balance.
There's
There's
a
a balance.
absolutely.